Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our Beecast. We have been a little bit lazy this last half year because I had an Apimondia Congress in Denmark where I was very much involved. And I really had the idea in Denmark that I would make 20 podcasts for our beecast.eu. But it was so stressful and so many things happened. And now, for the first time, I'm sitting here in beautiful Athens. We are sitting at the Agricultural University. We're sitting in their test apiary. And just on the other side, and we have to admit we can't see it, but we pretend that we can see Acropolis. It's a very nice spirit and very nice. And I'm sitting here with a lifelong good friend, Victoria, from Israel, Tel Aviv University. And we have been working together in colors and in everything. But Victoria, you know, I don't dare to say last names. Please present yourself. Who am I sitting with here?
So you're sitting with Victoria Soroker from agricultural, actually branch of Israeli Ministry of Agriculture. It's a Volcani Institute. And there I was working for 25 years. Now I retired, and for the last year I am working as a volunteer. And I am happy to be a part of BeeGuards European project, and I'm very happy to continue be an active Colos member and active partner.
So let's take a little bit of history. Everything started 35 years ago, or
You mean the bees?
No, your career. And
my career started long. I think it's my career as a scientist. I think it started somewhere. Maybe, I think after PhD, so it's in 91, last century. And I think that's where I really discovered bees and fallen completely in love with them. And it was a long way. I had my career had on and offs in bees, but not because I didn't love them, but because there were, circumstances.
Yeah.
My institute was not interested, and then it was interested. Actually, the colony collapse situation brought the deep understanding in our ministry that really bees should be taken care of.
Oh, great! Not great, but
it's not great, but it was it was happened. It said, but actually, it gave me real opportunity to start really going back to bees that I loved very much, and did it more like a hobby more than really, I would say as my main research subject.
So I could say it was science with passion with the bees.
Yes, I think
so many years.
Yes, because I was fascinated from the bees from the very moment I discovered them. And I was absolutely amazed because I even said, though I'm scientist and not deeply religious person, but I felt like it's an amazing creature. The way it acts, the way it's structured, it's absolutely amazing.
Give me a few headlines what you have done over the years.
Because mainly I'm chemical ecologist. I studied, initially I studied the issue of who is controlling the colony, whether it's workers or it's a queen. Mm-hmm. And we wondered, I started this in Tel Aviv University with Professor Abraham Hefetz and another colleague, Tamar Katsav-Goshansky. And there we were looking, how come that the queen has so many cues that she's producing? Uh-huh. And then we actually discovered the function of Dufour's gland in queen bee, and we saw that the worker bees, when they become hopelessly queenless, they also start producing the queen-like signal. And then it was a really fascinating work. So it looks like, over the evolutions, the bees, the workers, and the queen, they can kind of have a pheromone battle. The queen, produces this, and then the workers try to overcome it. And so that's how the bouquet, I think it looks like the queen bouquet really created. And today we are absolutely, I think it's clear that the QMP is not the only signal the queen produces, that she produces multiple signals and the workers evaluate the situation. And I often see that it looks like the worker are more of control of what's going on in the colony. And the fact that we are calling her the queen it's not that she decides what to do, but probably the workers kind of push her to do what they feel is the right to do, whether to produce drones, whether to produce workers, not produce anything. That was the issue of pheromones mainly. But when I started working on these colony collapse problems, I actually started being more interested in the Varroa mite and its communication with the bees, because it's obviously that Varroa is also very, I would say, evolutionary smart creature, and she knows. And I'm saying she because it's the female mainly that does it. And it's as a woman, it's very nice to me that everything here is about women.
Yeah.
The workers are women, females, the queen is a female, and they are ruling this society, very successful society. I think one of the most successful societies in our universe. And when you look at the Varroa, it's also the female that makes a decision when to invade the cell, when to start reproducing, and in the end is actually a disaster, because they bite and start sucking the bee brood and transmit viruses. And so it's really fascinating. How do they know when to do, on what exactly bee to go? Should they select? So we did work with my former student Nurit Eliash, that now is independent researcher in Israel in Shamir Institute. So and then we started to see who is she Varroa choosing, nurse versus foragers. And we started doing all these bioassays, and then we also tried to interrupt with this communication using all kinds of chemicals. We looked into chemical, I would say, in the detection abilities of the Varroa mite, what kind of, what is really building its chemosensory organ and stuff like that. So that's a lot of things that we did, which was pure, I would say, pure science.
And important.
Yeah, but it's important. But we also started looking on other things, because Varroa transmit viruses. So we started doing work on viruses. And of course, we also all the time monitored colony losses. We communicated with the beekeepers. We looked what's really happening. We started thinking, what really do the beekeepers doing the right thing? And then we discovered that there were some, really, they were relying mainly on the chemical products, the synthetic chemical products. And they were not really trying even to use any other products.
Vicky, and I don't want to make a detour, but we need to make a detour. Describe us the Israeli beekeeping. It's rather big beekeepers, so to say, few and compared to other countries. Can you give a short description?
Roughly, because roughly we have about 500 beekeepers that I think register.
Yeah.
It's not a lot, but our country is not very big, and I think we have about 120,000 colonies, roughly. I'm saying, because I think there are many small beekeepers today that have one colony, two colonies that they keep somewhere, nobody knows about it. But I'm talking about the registered ones. This is about the numbers.
I mean, just to compare Denmark, we have 6,500 beekeepers, and we have the same number of colonies. So conclusion is that you have rather big commercial beekeepers.
Whereas we have very big commercial beekeepers, but you see, a small number of beekeepers have the most colonies. So we have the biggest one have 5,000 colonies, and we have some of those, and. So they are really, and the situation is like this, that actually the whole system is supposed to serve their needs. And they provide pollination services. They get money for the pollination. And of course, they produce honey.
So there's a big pollination demand.
There is a very high pollination demand, of course, for primarily, I would say, not only for almonds, but all those nectarines, all of those kinds of, also some pears and apples, also for some vegetable crops. And now also a lot for avocado, because avocado is in very high, I would say now in a development trend. And because we do not have the native bees that were pollinating avocado, they are supposed to pollinate avocado in Mexico and in the origin of avocado. So, and there was one attempt to bring those that it did not succeed. So we rely mostly on honeybees, but honeybees do not like very much to pollinate the avocado because I think it's potassium, high potassium, or something like that in their nectar. I'm not sure exactly, but I know they don't like the nectar. But so you need really to have a lot of them, and the people bring them, and there is not much for the bees there. They don't like to be in avocado. So now there are also many interesting researches in which the people try to enrich the environment of avocado in order to attract the bees better to the avocado plantation. I've never worked on that, but it's another story. So there is a high demand. That's the bottom line for the pollination services. And I think we are very much concerned for the colony losses that it may affect really our agriculture, production of all these, like melons and all those. Although some people promise us that there will be plants that would not need the bees, but I find it very hard to believe that we will ever get to this situation. And I don't want to get to this situation because I think this is not the right way. Because the nature, when we think we play gods, the nature takes revenge.
Yeah. Okay, now we're getting into the scientist, Victoria, or Vicky as I call you. Should we wrap a little bit up how we met?
Oh, yes, I think we met in Belfast, where we met, or in somewhere, 2008.
2008, where they created the Colors Network.
Yes.
That's 2008, and we actually have been in the two same, what do we call it, working groups or of colors, core groups. The winter loss, bee colony losses group, and also in the Varroa group.
Yes.
And I'm sure you're involved in other groups as well.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. It's fortunate, but I think yes. Yes. And today I am in for the third round. I think in Colors EC.
You're also sitting there. Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
I should have remembered that. Yeah. I again just to put a few words on colors, and I think I have said it before in this podcast, is that this probably something of the best that has happened for beekeeping science, because as I say earlier on, before that everybody was working for themselves, and there was small communication, and now we have made this really big network, thousands of beekeeping scientists and people from the industry and advisors as well. And now we see all those groups creating up there. Instead of I'm doing this, oh, you're doing the same, let's do it together. Earlier on it was everybody wanted to invent the wheel, and we, in my life at least, was loss of resources. So I feel that beekeeping science has improved a lot. I claim due to colors. It can be everything else, but
I think I absolutely agree with you. I think we actually created kind of a family, bee research family, and I think it's the best time in my career since Colors started, because we meet each other, we share each other, we WhatsApp with each other regularly, we ask questions, we help each other. So I think it's really wonderful. And Bee Guards, I think it's one of the products of
So
this.
now we're getting to the Bee Guards.
Yeah.
And you are in the work package number one, which is testing out those innovative methods. And give us very fast a few headlines on what are you guys actually doing in the work package number one.
So I think the main thing that we are doing in terms of innovative, we are trying to show the beekeepers that for my beekeepers, I think it's especially important to see that you can do actually beekeeping and successful Varroa control without using synthetic chemical. a rash synthetic chemical, because you cannot see oxalic acid. I think we are not extracting it from the plants anymore. So it's a synthetic, but it's natural product. It's a natural chemical. It's not poisonous as much to the bees, and it's really safe for human beings. It is in food products. It's in many plants, and that's what we are doing. And it looks so far quite good. So instead of using amitraz over and over again, building up the resistance, we are trying to do something. We actually use. I like the approach because it's also very smart. It's based on the biology or of the Varroa mite, and its association with the bees. What it means, the Varroa mite that I mentioned earlier that I worked with, it reproduces exclusively inside the capped brood of the bee. So if there is no capped brood of the bee in the colony, Varroa cannot reproduce. So actually, if it doesn't reproduce, even if it stays as it is, the population doesn't grow. But more so, when the Varroa mite is under the cover of the brood, most of the chemicals cannot reach it.
Yeah.
So by stopping the brood production, you expose all the Varroa mites, and not only that you kind of delay its reproduction, but actually you enable to use softer chemicals to kill it, because they're all out, and that's what we are doing.
So let's put it, cut it out in boxes. You have 32 colonies in your apiary, test apiaries.
Yeah.
Half of them you treat in the traditional way, running in the traditional way, which for your case would be the traditional treatment. It's an amitraz, a pesticide treatment that is very traditional in your country, so to say. And
not only in my country, by the way.
Yeah, that's the most used pesticide
today in most of the country.
Yeah, exactly. And there are problems all over.
And the resistance is already there, starting to. And also, I mean, if there is problems which you don't know, that sometimes it's also very poisonous to the bees themselves.
So they are the control. We are doing what we used to do here.
Yeah,
and now we want to compare with what we call the innovative methods.
Yep.
And this is also very special in the bee guards, because you decide, so to say, what the innovative method is. You can choose different things. I mean, brood removal, queen caging. So what are you doing in your...
So in my case, I do queen caging and oxalic acid. And I do oxalic acid trickling because it looked to me that it's the easiest thing, first of all. And also, I don't like when what they call smoking, because it's also pollution to the beekeeper and the environment. And also, I mean, it's very difficult to control the amount. So that's what I thought. And I tried it here and there before the bee guards, and so I thought this should be a good method for.
Okay, we need to not to be too nerdy, because you and I, we know what we're talking about. So let me hear. So you're doing the queen caging in what period, and when do you make the oxalic acid trickling?
Okay, so we do it usually just before the second harvest, that our colonies, because we don't have, I mean, it's important, especially in our climate, because we don't have winter break. So our bees reproduce all the time. We have brood in the colony all the time. So Varroa grows continuously.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
It's a very big problem. And because after winter, we have like 2 honey harvests in a row, we also have a problem to do it in between.
You have to put months on, so I can follow you.
Yeah, so I put, what we do, it's about a month before the second harvest, which is in July. I go into the colony, I catch the queen, and then after 25 days, I take off the super and open the cage and trickle 5 milliliter in each strip for each comb, and that's it. And I close it, and that's it.
Because after 25 days...
Yes, so 25 days, ensure that I don't have the drone brood capped, nothing. And I mean, usually it works very well, and queens survive well.
And no more treatment.
And then till the winter, I don't have any more treatment.
Okay.
And then I have another treatment in the autumn.
Aha.
So this is my, and usually, I mean, these colonies survive, I mean, better or the same like this standard treatment.
We have been told that we should be careful promising too much.
Yeah,
but you can tell me your personal feeling.
It looks good. The only thing that I'm concerned that beekeepers are afraid of. I know the beekeepers are very much afraid of caging the queen. They think that if they catch her, they will kill her. Or it will take them. That's what they're afraid, that the workers will kill the queen, but they don't. Actually, what my feeling is that the queen kind of resting a little bit. And she comes very vigorously, happy to lay eggs. And
so what kind of cage are you using? The small Italian one, as I call it?
Now I use different cages. And the small Italian one is the best. But this year so I use them already for some time. And I like them best because I see the queen, and the good thing about it, and I'm not giving advertisement for this company, but I like the door. The queen comes out very easily. I do not, I'm introducing her, but I'm not taking her out. I open the door and she comes freely whenever and the workers feel that she should come, and the workers go in and out very nicely. But we also use these small cages that we got from China. Uh-huh. I think I don't know, when, you buy it in the bag. They are small. And I saw the queen survive in those as well. I also tried the cages, there's, I think, from Ukraine.
The big one?
No, I never did use the big ones, but I used the small ones. But they have a net only on one side. On the other side, they cannot. And I was very much afraid. But since... I cannot say any problem. The only problems I had with those cages that you put, like you click on it, and then the bees, sometimes they chew the wax and then they'll release the queen, not when you want it, but when they manage to rescue her from there.
So you're happy. So now you are...
I'm happy.
So you're in test apiary, and we are actually sitting at the test apiary in Athens, where we can see all the colonies. And there are different devices on as well. Tell me a little bit about those devices that you have there.
Oh, yes. I also have those devices.
Of course, everybody that are...
No, yes, practically everybody has. We have some devices. We have in our app 15 devices. Mm-hmm. And what is very nice about those devices, that first of all, these basic devices, they take the weight of the colony, so you can assess when your colony is collecting really honey, and you can see the hourly, changes during the time. Also, it can give you an idea if a colony doesn't have a super but declining in the weight or increasing, it can tell you something about the situation of the population. The other thing is the temperature. We have a very nice sensor there, like a fork of 5.
It's 5 sensors.
5 sensors that really takes the temperature. So you see the temperature changes between the outer frames and the inner frame. And you can see how... And you measure the temperature also outside, so you can see, and it's really nice to see how the good colonies really keep their temperature with small fluctuation. It's really amazing because again, it indicates you that the colony is doing well, and you are happy. It's like you're taking thermometer and measuring the temperature in your child, and you are happy that he's feeling well.
Yeah, I think it's very exciting. So it's 5 temperature sensors in every second bee space, so to say, so it's nicely distributed.
Yeah, it's very
and it's very exciting to see what information we can get out of that. For me, colony doing well, yes, no, and the other thing is brood or no brood, maybe not so.
Because yes, and not so much in our case, but I would say because we suspect now that with longer and harsher summers, we probably experience sometimes brood break during the summer. So maybe we will see something about that.
Yeah. But I don't see the bee counter here. Do you see the bee counter?
No. Maybe they should have. Oh yes, we have only one bee counter because it counts in and out. So this can show you about the activity. But it's nice, but I sometimes have doubts about it because, when the colony dies and you have those robbers that coming in, you may count.
So you suddenly still see lots of activities.
But the colony is actually dead. So I don't know. We should be very careful with that.
And anyway, it's a very nice gadgets, and there are 250 of them distributed all over Europe, so to say. And they are collecting a massive amount of data, and we have very, very good people working on those data.
Dedicated.
Yes, exactly. So let's run over a testing season. What are you doing actually? You're counting mites, you're washing mites,
So what we do regularly, once a week, we oil the bottom board.
Yes.
And we install the bottom boards in all the bee guards colonies.
Yeah.
And after 3 days, it's over the weekend. We do it just before the weekend. After the weekend, we come, and our beekeeper, Asaf, is a very great, dedicated beekeeper. He comes and he counts all the mites. And so we have information about exactly how the population changes, over every week for entire season, and I think it's very, very important.
It's lovely information.
Yeah,
every beekeeper should have that.
Yes,
probably they would not go every once a week to count.
Yeah. But today there are also kind of neat devices that I'm not sure.
Yeah, we saw them at the Piemonte Congress.
We saw them in that I thought, wow, it could be great that they could count, and then because it's a hell of a job, especially when you do it in the midsummer. And the temperature is above 30 degrees, and you are sweating, and it's hell of a job, but still very important. So this is something that we do regularly, but also at certain times that it's defined by our consortium. We call that campaign. We are going to collect specific information about the colony structure, I would say. And then we go by a specific Lieberfeld method, which is a standard method, to assess exactly the population within the colony. So what we do, we go frame by frame. First of all, we count the amount of bees. It's exactly, it's something that you trained yourself to do. And you say it's kind of expressed in the proportion of the frame that is covered with bees. So we do that. And then on each frame, we look what is under the bees. Either it's, honey, pollen, a worker brood, or drone brood. And we count it again in the same area covered by each frame from each side. Okay? The idea is that we will be able to correlate this information with the temperature information. Yeah. And that's we do for all these colonies with devices and without devices. And then the other thing also, we count the activity of the bees that coming out of each colony, and we take a sample of the bees from the outer frames. We wash them. It depends. We wash it in 70% ethanol, and then we count the mites. We wait to calculate how many mites we had for 10 grams of bees. And we record this data, we put it in the common database, so everybody in the consortium can use it, and for the modeling or other purposes. I
need to tell everybody that today you got the gold medal of the best test apiary putting in the data in the database. they said, yeah, Vicky is always the first one, and she's always doing it so accurate. And so you are a role model in the...
No. I am the one that works in the field. Angelina My postdoc, she's a great in entering data, so I should.
So she should have the gold
get
medal.
the gold medal. She definitely has to have a gold medal, not me.
So you also take out bee samples once in a while, and you send them to Spain for.
Yeah. We're sending it to Spain for all this holobiome.
Exactly.
Viruses and whatever the bacteria.
So you're really the basic of supplying, you could say, raw material for all the other work packages that are really working intensely on what's going on in the apiaries, and it's really, really exciting. All the different. I mean, during the week here, you and I, we were at the annual meeting. Everybody presenting their progress and what they're doing and what they're planning to do. And at the end, I was kind of, totally exhausted, impressed how many activities are going on there. There will be lots of publications and lots of exciting things coming out of this project.
Yeah. I mean, they're wonderful, amazing work. And I think we finally I hope to see, because, the bee, we are looking at the bee, but today we know how many bacteria are within the bees. I'm not talking with some are good and some are bad. We have the mites. We have invasive. Sometimes, we hope we don't have any invasive creature now, but who knows? Now they are going to do all these sequencing, so they might see things, because before we had I think we didn't have the tools to look for something that we don't know. We always, even when PCR was defined, specific primers, we fished what we knew. You could not know, you couldn't fish something you don't know. It's like with corona. You look for corona, you find corona, but if somebody has completely different virus and he's totally sick, the doctor would say he doesn't have a corona. But what does he have? He doesn't know, because there is no kit for other thing. But when you do this sequencing and very deep data analysis, and they show this, that they can remove all these markers of the bee itself, so they get really deep possibility to look in. For us, more kind of organismic biologist, it's eye-opening.
Vicky, we could continue long time.
Yes.
And there's many stories to tell.
Yeah.
And we also have many memories, fun memories. And but I think our podcast is getting to the 30 minutes now. So how can we end this nice conversation that we have?
I think we should have another one in 2 years when the project will finish, and we will see. At this stage, we see we have this all. The potential is huge.
Yes.
I just hope we will manage to fulfill, the hopes and our objectives, and bring the beekeepers something that they expected from us. At least something. If we can improve the beekeeping to make it more sustainable, more healthier for bees and beekeepers, I think each one of us will be very much happy. And then we'll have a beer over it.
We will. Thanks a lot. It was really nice to sit here in this nice apiary.
It's wonderful.
And we claim that we can see Acropolis
just told us,
on the other side of the hedge.
I'm thinking if the clouds would not be so bad.
Thank you. See you in 2 years.
See you. Bye, Fleming. But I hope to see you before in some other occasions at least.
Course, yeah.